So in the last lecture, we studied about ionization energy. What is ionization energy? It is the amount of energy required to remove an electron which is present in any given orbit, or you can say it is the amount of energy required to take the electron from which is present in n equals to n orbit to infinite distance. Okay, if I am taking the electron to infinite distance, the energy of a free electron is 0. So if the energy of the electron initially is minus RH times z square upon n square, you need to convert this energy to 0. Okay, 0 पे convert करने के लिए you need to add plus RH z square upon n square. So I can say the ionization energy is nothing but जो भी energy उस orbit में रहेगा उसका positive value. Okay. So the energy of an electron in a given orbit is minus RH z square upon n square. उसका positive value मतलब plus RH z square upon n square, where RH is 13.6 electron volts. Okay, then we have seen limitations. In the limitations, ये जो 5, 6 और 7 points है, we will be explaining them after looking at quantum mechanical model. Okay. In today's lecture, we will try to prove MVR is equals to NH upon 2 pi, quantization of angular momentum. Okay. हमने de Broglie's hypothesis के बारे में पढ़ा. Just like electromagnetic radiation, which has dual nature, both particle as well as wave nature, matter also has dual nature. It has particle nature as well as wave nature. The wave nature is in general insignificant for macroscopic bodies. The wave nature will become more and more insignificant if the momentum is very, very high. Momentum high कब हो सकता है? If the velocity is high, then the momentum can be high. Or if the mass is very high, then also momentum can be high. Okay, so in general, for macroscopic objects whose mass is very significant, for them the wavelength is insignificant. De Broglie's wavelength is insignificant. और हमने cricket ball के बारे में देखा. In this particular case, the wavelength of the cricket ball, which is moving at a speed of 100 meters per second and which has a mass of 662.5 grams, we got the wavelength as 10 raised to minus 35 meters. If you are looking at this particular value and if you are comparing it with the radius of the cricket ball, this particular value, wavelength value, is insignificant. Hence, we can never see the cricket ball moving in the form of a wave because this particular value is very, very less. But in the case of, or in the context of electron, an electron moving in the first orbit of hydrogen atom has a wavelength of, de Broglie's wavelength of 3.06 angstroms. And if we look at the radius of the first orbit, it is 0.529 angstroms. So in दोनों के comparison में, this is not insignificant. 3.06 angstroms is not so high when compared to 0.529 angstroms. These two are comparable. Hence, we should not neglect the wavelength of the electron in an atom. So electron is now not moving around the nucleus in the form of a particle, but it is moving in the form of a wave. Okay? ठीक है. उसके बाद हमने एक क्वेश्चन किया था. ये स्टैंडर्ड क्वेश्चन है, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. Whenever you are leaving any charge q in a potential difference of V naught, the kinetic energy achieved by that particular charged particle is q times V naught. Okay, in this context, it is given as electron, so it will be EV. इसी particular logic के ऊपर electron volt का unit भी आया है. 1 electron volt is equals to 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 joules. Okay. ठीक है, उसके बाद और एक क्वेश्चन किया. Let us start with some questions. उसके बाद concept में जाएंगे. Solve this question. De Broglie wavelength of a particle of mass 6.63 grams moving with a velocity of 100 meters per second is. Solve this question. 1 minute. Option B, 10 raised to minus 35 meters आ रहेगा. What is the formula for de Broglie wavelength? Lambda dB equals to h upon moment b, which is equal to h upon mv. H is 6.625. You can approximate 6.625 as 6.63 into 10 raised to minus 34 joule second divided by mass is 6.63 into, you need to put that in kgs. 6.63 into 10 raised to minus 3 kg into velocity is 100 meter per second. 6.63 cancel होगा. So this is 10 raised to minus 1. 10 raised to minus 1 ऊपर गया तो option A ना, it is 10 raised to minus 33 meters. Answer is A. You need to convert the grams into kgs. We are trying to solve the answer in terms of SI units, meters square. Okay, next question. I hope this question is clear to everyone. Formula based ही आएगा. Even in JEE mains and in NEET, direct formula based ही आएगा. Lambda is equals to h upon mv. They will give you the mass of the particle. They will give you the velocity of the particle. You need to calculate the de Broglie's wavelength. Okay. ये question देखो. If the radius of first orbit of hydrogen atom is a naught, the de Broglie wavelength of an electron in the third orbit is. Try to solve this question. Take a few minutes. Solve this. This is an important question.
B.
Time low. De Broglie wavelength of the electron in the third orbit.
Sir, option C.
Option C, okay. ऑप्शन सी बोल रहे हैं. आया क्या किसी को ऑप्शन सी?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll see. देखो, whenever the question is related to de Broglie's wavelength and if they are connecting that to Bohr's theory, if the radius of the first orbit of hydrogen atom is a naught, this is they are referring to first Bohr's orbit. Okay, whenever they are connecting the question with Bohr's theory and de Broglie wavelength, always use this. MVR is equals to NH upon 2 pi. इससे डायरेक्टली हमको h upon mv आ जाएगा. They are asking the de Broglie wavelength in the third orbit. मतलब m into velocity in the third orbit, radius of the third orbit is equals to n will become 3. It will be 3h upon 2 pi. We want lambda de Broglie, which is equals to h upon mv. This implies h upon m into v3 equals to 2 pi r3 upon 3. Okay, you need to substitute the radius of the third orbit, but they have given the answer in terms of a naught, which is the radius of the first orbit. We know radius is proportional to n square upon z. So r1 upon r2 or r1 upon, in this case, r3 na, r1 upon r3 is equals to n1 square upon z divided by n3 square upon z. Z cancel hoga, which is n1 square upon n3 square, which is 1 upon 9. This implies r3 is equals to 9r1, which is 9 times a naught. So substitute that. So lambda dB equals to 2 pi r3. R3 matlab 9 a naught upon 3. So the answer is 6 pi a naught. Good. The answer is 6 pi a naught. This is most common model whenever they are connecting the Bohr's theory with de Broglie's hypothesis. Always you can get the answer using MVR is equals to NH upon 2 pi. क्योंकि इस फॉर्मूला में डायरेक्टली हमको h upon mv दिख जाएगा. Okay. Is this clear, everyone? Let's move to next question. If the kinetic energy of an electron is increased 4 times, the wavelength of the de Broglie wave associated with it would become 1/4, half, 4 times, or 2 times. Karo. The kinetic energy is increased by 4 times. Try to write the formula of lambda de Broglie in terms of kinetic energy.
Sir, option B.
Option B. Okay. We'll see. Try to write the formula of lambda dB in terms of kinetic energy. H upon mv, and we know kinetic energy Ke is equals to half mv square. So from this I can write V is equals to root over 2 Ke upon m. So if you are substituting that in lambda dB is equals to h upon m into root over 2 Ke upon m. अगर मास रूट के अंदर गया तो it will become square. So एक m cancel होगा. So it will be root 2 Ke times m. Okay. Now I am increasing the kinetic energy to 4 times. This is lambda dB1, lambda dB2. Okay, it will be h upon root over 2 into 4 Ke times m, which is equal to half times h upon root over 2 Ke into m, which is half into lambda de Broglie 1. So it became half. So here, answer is B. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next question. If E1, E2, E3 are kinetic energies of electrons, alpha particles, and protons having same de Broglie wavelength, then you need to tell me the relation among E1, E2, and E3.
Option A.
Okay.
Sir, option C.
Option C. Okay.
Yeah.
Take few minutes. बाकी लोग भी attempt करो. Already we know the relation between their masses. Mass of proton is 1836 times mass of electron. Mass of alpha particle is 4 times the mass of proton. They are saying that de Broglie wavelength is same for all the particles.
Sir, C.
Okay.
So C option.
C option. Okay. Okay. What is the formula for de Broglie wavelength in terms of kinetic energy? Lambda dB is equals to, you can write that in terms of momentum
H
as
by P.
on mv, or it is h upon root over 2 ke into m. Okay. We know mass of proton is 1836 times mass of electron, and mass of alpha particle as 4 times mass of proton, which is 4 into 1836 times mass of electron. Okay. They are saying that lambda of electron is equal to lambda of alpha particle equals to lambda of proton. This implies h upon root over 2 into E1 into mass of electron. This must be equal to h upon root over 2 into E2 into 4 into 1836 times mass of electron must be equal to h upon 2 into E3 times 1836 times mass of electron. Okay. ये सब इक्वल होने के लिए क्या होना चाहिए? सबसे ज्यादा क्या कौन होना चाहिए? आई थिंक E1. You need to have the product. You need to have the product E into mass, the kinetic energy into mass as constant. More is the mass, less must be the kinetic energy. Less is the mass, more must be the kinetic energy. ऐसे ही होना चाहिए ना? An alpha particle has highest mass, hence its kinetic energy must be the least. Okay, an electron has least mass, hence its kinetic energy must be highest. Intermediate में proton है, so उसका kinetic energy इन दोनों के बीच में रहेगा. So the answer is E2 is less than, सबसे least तो E2 है. more mass K must be less in order to have kinetic energy into mass a constant. Okay, so I can say E2 or kinetic energy of the alpha particle is less than kinetic energy of the proton is less than kinetic energy of electron, which is E2 less than E3 less than E1. So the answer is C. Answer is C. Clear? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Next question. The de Broglie wavelength of charge Q accelerated in a potential difference of V0 volts is. Already किया हमने इलेक्ट्रॉन के रेस्पेक्ट में किया. Please tell me the answer. The de Broglie wavelength of charge Q accelerated in a potential difference of V0. Answer. Answer, please. Anyone answer?
Sir, h upon under root 2 QV not m.
H upon under root 2 QV not M. सही है. सभी लोग को आया ये? Lambda de Broglie equals to H upon, either you can write MV or you can write H upon root over 2 KE into M. Okay. Here the mass of the charge is not given. We will assume the mass has some M. Okay. Charge Q.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, sir.
Hello. Ladies
Hello.
ये देश इसी लायक है बोतली वाला मादरचोद। ये देश इसी लायक है, लेकिन मादरचोद अगर मैं मारा नहीं ना, तुम्हारी गाड़ में घुस के दिखाऊंगा बोतली वालों।
Hello.
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 Hello. Hello. अरे ये लो तो करो करो।
हेलो सर।
Hello.
हेलो।
Hello. हेलो
It got disconnected long time back, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So मैंने
Yes,
जो
sir.
इंटरफेरेंस के बारे में समझाया अभी वो सब नहीं सुना क्या आप लोग?
No, sir.
नहीं
कुछ भी नहीं.
आप क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर रहे थे उतना ही.
अच्छा उसके बाद बहुत समझाया मैंने. ठीक है, we'll continue from there.
Okay, sir.
हेलो
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
इतना समझे हैं?
पता नहीं किसको समझा रहा था.
बहुत अच्छा लगा.
वेरी
Okay. So we were discussing this question. The formula for de Broglie wavelength is lambda is equals to h upon mv or h upon momentum, or you can write that in terms of kinetic energy as h upon root over 2ke into m. Any question related to de Broglie wavelength can be solved with these formulas. If they are giving the voltage and if they are giving you the charge, you can replace the kinetic energy by q into v naught or q into that particular voltage. Okay, so lambda dB is equals to h upon root over 2qv times m. Either ये मॉडल के आता है और they will be connecting the de Broglie's wavelength to Bohr's orbit. In that case, if you want to solve the question, you can use the formula mvr is equals to nh upon 2 pi. Now we are trying to derive that particular formula mvr is equals to nh upon 2 pi. In order to understand that, we are trying to understand a concept called interference of waves. Interference of waves. ये जो interference है, it is basically of two types: constructive interference and destructive interference. Constructive interference and destructive interference. पहले constructive interference के बारे में समझेंगे. Okay. Suppose you are having one wave. ये एक wave है. This wave is interfering with another wave in this manner. Suppose ये दूसरा wave है, which is also having same wavelength but a different amplitude. Okay. इस पर्टिकुलर केस में रिजल्टेंट वेव क्या होगा? द रिजल्टेंट वेव विल लुक समथिंग लाइक दिस. एक बार रिजल्टेंट के लिए क्या करना है देखो. दिस इज हैविंग ए पॉजिटिव एम्पलीट्यूड, दिस वेव इज आल्सो हैविंग ए पॉजिटिव एम्पलीट्यूड. सो दीज बोथ वेव्स इंटरफियर. और जो एम्पलीट्यूड है, रिजल्टेंट वेव का एम्पलीट्यूड जो है, इट विल बी इंक्रीज्ड. सो द वेव विल ग्रो इन इट्स साइज. सपोज सी या ओशन में भी इफ यू आर हैविंग वेव्स, और वेव का साइज बढ़ता जाता है ना, that is because of interference of two or more waves. If it is having a positive interference, matlab constructive interference, then the size of the wave will be increased or the amplitude will be increased. In this particular case, each and every point is having same nature. ये positive है तो ये भी positive, ये negative है तो ये भी negative, positive. So whenever you are forming a resultant wave will look something like this with a greater amplitude. सब कुछ सेम रहेगा, उसका वेवलेंथ, बाकी सारे चीजें सेम रहेंगे. वो एम्पलीट्यूड जो है, द एम्पलीट्यूड गॉट इंक्रीज्ड. दिस इज बिकॉज ऑफ टाइप ऑफ इंटरफेरेंस कॉल्ड कंस्ट्रक्टिव इंटरफेरेंस. ओके. देयर इज अनदर टाइप ऑफ इंटरफेरेंस व्हिच इज कॉल्ड एज डिस्ट्रक्टिव इंटरफेरेंस. एक्सक्यूज मी. There is another type of interference called destructive interference. इस केस में क्या होगा? Let us observe the nature of overlap. Suppose एक wave ऐसा है, the another wave is interfering in this way. Okay. So what is happening in this particular case? This wave is having a positive. This wave is having positive amplitude, and this particular wave is having negative amplitude. So ये जो particular wave है, it will be cancelled with this particular wave. ये positive है, negative है, positive है, negative है, positive है, negative है. Okay, and if they are by same amounts, the wave will be completely destroyed. मतलब
Sir, in chat box, everyone are telling we can't hear your sound.
okay. Oh. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me now,
Yes,
everyone?
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. I'm saying that whenever you are having waves interfering in this particular way, where both the waves are either having positive amplitudes or either having negative amplitudes, that will lead to a type of interference called constructive interference. Because of the constructive interference, we are getting an overall wave with a greater amplitude. That resultant wave is having a greater amplitude. Okay, this is the resultant wave. इस केस में क्या हो रहा है? One of the wave is having a positive amplitude. At the same time instant, the other wave is having a negative amplitude. So ये positive और negative दोनों cancel होके this is the overall wave. Okay. और ये जो wave है, it got destroyed, completely destroyed. So whenever you have constructive interference, it will lead to increase in amplitude of the wave. Whenever you have destructive interference, it will lead to destruction of the wave. The wave will no longer exist. Okay. ये जो constructive and destructive है, there can be combination of both. There can be combination of both constructive and destructive interference. मतलब क्या है? Suppose एक wave ऐसे जा रहा है.
सर
या
बाकी के बोल रहे हैं सर लेफ्ट टू है क्या? उनको आवाज सुनाई नहीं दे रहा.
मैं तो हूँ ना.
सर बीच में आवाज कट हो रहा है पूरा.
ओके.
और स्क्रीन पे जो लिखा है वो भी दिख नहीं रहा. हाँ, अभी दिखाई दिया वो डायग्राम.
अभी दिख रहा है क्या?
अभी दिखा.
Okay. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you can have a combination of both constructive and destructive interference. मतलब कैसे होगा? Suppose एक wave okay, एक wave ऐसा है, दूसरा wave ऐसा कुछ है. इस केस में क्या हो रहा है? ऑब्जर्व इस पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट पे, ये रीजन्स में, इस रीजन से लेके इस रीजन तक, there is a destructive interference.
Yes,
It is
sir.
one wave is having positive amplitude, the other wave is having negative amplitude, and इस रीजन से लेके
Yes.
इस रीजन तक, again you are having a destructive interference. Similarly यहाँ से लेके okay, the properly drawn नहीं किया, but यहाँ तक again there is destructive interference, so on so forth, right? So in this case, you are having both constructive as well as destructive interference, which is also not good for the wave, because some parts of the wave is being destroyed, are getting destroyed. If you want to have survival of the wave, or if you want to have a good wave, you need to have a constructive interference. If you are having a destructive interference, that will lead to destruction of the wave. Okay. So we are saying that an electron is not a particle, but it is having wave nature. So whenever the electron is revolving around the nucleus in the form of a wave, it will always try to have that particular constructive interference. If it is having destructive interference, the electron cannot exist there. Okay. ये वाला point समझ में आया? If the electron is moving in the form of a wave, it will also try to have a constructive interference, because destructive interference will lead to destruction of that particular wave, or the electron cannot survive. So it will choose only those paths where there will be constructive interference. Okay. इस reason के वजह से the orbits around the nucleus are not continuous, but there are some discontinuous orbits. वो कैसे बनेगा एक बार देखते हैं. देखो, everyone try to understand this, try to visualize this, or else you can do one exercise. Take a piece of paper. On the piece of paper, draw these things. I will wait for 2 minutes. Take a piece of paper. ऐसा ही draw करो. एक पेपर में ऐसा ही draw करो. एक में एक wave रखो. इस particular case में you are having 2 waves. एक wave है, ये एक wave है. In this case, you are having 3 waves. Once you are done, please let me know. I am asking you to fold this particular paper in the form of a cylinder, and whenever you are folding it, यहाँ पे जो point है, make this point meet this particular point. Then you can see the point where one wave ends will be the point where a new wave starts. यहाँ पे भी वैसा ही रहेगा. जहाँ पे ये wave end होगा, वहाँ पे दूसरा wave start होगा. मतलब it will be some continuous form. Okay. If you had suppose ये वाला particular point, वो पेपर का ये वाला particular point इस point से meet करवाओ. Okay. Make this particular point meet with this particular point. तब क्या होगा? You will get something like this. ये वाला point यहाँ पे meet कर रहे तो next wave यहाँ पे end होगा ना वो remaining part. ये जो part है, आप लोग ये वाला particular point को पेपर के ये वाला particular point से connect करवा रहे. So remaining of the wave, this particular wave will be coming something like this. ये यहाँ पे आएगा ना? Can you feel that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
सर मीन्स थोड़ा आगे जाएगा क्या सर?
थोड़ा आगे जाना चाहिए. बस वैसा ही टच करवाना है. You are not exactly meeting these two ends. ये वाला end थोड़ा अंदर आगे लेके जाओ. तब क्या होगा? ये जो particular wave है, this particular wave, बचा हुआ wave यहाँ पे आएगा ना? अगर यहाँ पे आया तो क्या होगा? This particular part will be having a destructive interference.
Yes, sir.
Feel किया?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So ये कब हो रहा है? Whenever you are having an incomplete wave in the orbit. मतलब ये पूरा wave complete नहीं हो पाया. Whenever the electron is revolving, if it is unable to complete entire wave, एक wavelength complete नहीं कर पाया तो there is it is resulting in destructive interference. Can I say that?
Yes,
If
sir.
you are completing one full wave in the orbit, then you are having a constructive interference. मतलब after rotation, where the wave is ending, वहाँ पे एक नया wave start हो रहा है, so you are having a constructive interference. But if you are having a wave in this manner, यहाँ पे end हो रहा है, okay, वो circumference के बाद नया wave जो है यहाँ पे ये नीचे है और ये ऊपर है, so there will be destructive interference. So in order to have constructive interference, an electron must form a complete wave. मतलब either one wave or two waves. अभी ये two waves में ये one wave हुआ, ये second wave हुआ. Suppose it is forming 1/3/4 wave. मतलब यहाँ पे फिर से करो आप लोग. Okay, यहाँ पे try to fold that paper. तब क्या होगा? बचा हुआ पार्ट यहाँ से स्टार्ट होगा, वहां से स्टार्ट होने की वजह से फिर से क्या होगा? There will be destructive interference. So this particular part will again have destructive interference. Whenever you have destructive interference, the wave will be destroyed. There won't be any existence of the wave. In order to have constructive interference, the electron must form complete wavelengths whenever it is revolving in an orbit. मतलब क्या है? Either it can form one wave, or it can form two waves, or it can form three waves, so on and so forth. It should not form incomplete waves. मतलब it cannot form 1.5 wave. It cannot form 2.56 waves. It has to form one wave, two waves, three waves, so on and so forth. Is this particular point clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
सभी लोग को ये क्लियर है क्या?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I hope this is clear. देखो, इसी particular logic में, if you are revolving this or if you are rotating this in the form of a cylinder, can I say this particular part will become the circumference?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
यहाँ से लेके यहाँ तक, यहाँ से लेके यहाँ तक, if you are rotating this particular part in the form of a cylinder, this will become the circumference, which is nothing but the orbit.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What will be the radius of such orbit? Suppose if I'm
0.5
taking R is the radius of the 0.529. Okay, वो बाद में. If I'm taking R as the radius of the orbit, what will be the circumference of it? Can I say it is 2 pi r?
2 pi r.
So this
Lambda.
particular value must become 2 pi r. And what is this particular value equal to? One wavelength.
Lambda.
Lambda.
In this case, it is 1 lambda. Similarly, यहाँ पे इस particular situation पे, this is also circumference. Suppose let us take this as some r2. This is r1. This has some r2. तब क्या होगा? It will be 2 pi r2 is equals to, यही length it is again equal to 2 lambda. यहाँ से यहाँ तक एक, यहाँ से यहाँ तक एक lambda है, यहाँ से यहाँ तक दूसरा lambda है. So it will be 2 pi r2 is equals to 2 lambda. Similarly, in this case, it will be 2 pi r3 is equals to 3 lambda. Or in any general orbit, 2 pi rn will be equals to n lambda. Okay. What is that r? R is the radius of the orbit. In the first orbit, देखो कम से कम कितना wavelength होना चाहिए? कम से कम एक wavelength तो रहना ही पड़ेगा. Okay. So in the first orbit, it is having one wavelength. In the second orbit, it is, as the orbit size got increased, it is forming two waves. In the third orbit, as the orbit size further increased, it is able to form three waves. Okay. Minimum number of waves will be 1. So in first orbit, it is forming only one wave. Hence 2 pi r1 is equals to 1 lambda. In the second orbit, it is forming two waves. 2 pi r2 is equals to 2 lambda. In third orbit, 3 waves. In nth orbit, it will form n number of waves. Hence the circumference 2 pi rn will be equal to n lambda. What is de Broglie wavelength is equals to? Lambda is equals to h upon mv. So can I write 2 pi rn is equals to n into
H
upon mass into velocity in that particular orbit? So from this, can I write m into Vn Rn? Rearrange karo thoda. It will become nh upon 2 pi, which is
Yes,
nothing
sir.
but quantization
Yes, sir.
of angular momentum.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the final conclusion is the electron is able to occupy only certain orbits, because only in those orbits it can have constructive interference. or I can say only in those orbits it can have complete waves, or it can form complete waves. Whenever it is forming incomplete waves, orbit खत्म हो गया, but वो wave जो है, if it is forming incomplete waves, then it will lead to destructive interference. Destructive interference will lead to destruction of the electron. The electron cannot exist in that particular case. So in order to have constructive interference, the electron is occupying only certain orbits. From there, we have this quantization of angular momentum. Only those orbits are possible where the angular momentum is h upon 2 pi. Okay, only those values of angular momentum are possible because only that will lead to constructive interference. If it is leading to destructive interference, the electron cannot exist. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
सभी लोग का भी ओवरऑल आइडिया आ रहा है? हम स्टार्टिंग में फोटो इलेक्ट्रिक इफेक्ट पढ़ने के बाद okay, I covered a lot of things. From the photoelectric effect, we concluded that the orbits around the nucleus, एक बार overall समझा रहा हूँ summary. From the photoelectric effect, we concluded that the electron cannot lose energy continuously or cannot increase its energy continuously. Okay, there are no continuous orbits, there are only discontinuous orbits. If there are continuous orbits, हर कोई पैकेट इसके ऊपर गिर के it can move the electron by some particular distance, and if the intensity is more, the packets, number of packets or number of waves will be more. As a result, the electron will be coming or it will be going away and away from the nucleus, and eventually it will come out of the atom. But this is not the case. No matter how high the intensity, if the frequency is lesser than some certain amount, the electron is never coming out because the orbits are not continuous. There are only some specific orbits. Okay, if you are supplying only some specific amount of energy, then only there will be transition. If there is no orbit available for that particular transition, the electron won't be absorbing that particular photon. It will be transmitted. Okay, so इसलिए whenever you incident light on any object, some amount of it will be absorbed and some amount of it will be transmitted. वो transmit इसलिए हो रहा है because there are no levels available for the electron. Clear है? उसके बाद तब बोर ने क्या कहा? In the Bohr's theory, we saw that electrons are revolving in discontinuous orbits, and as long as the electron is present in a specific orbit, its energy will be constant. Okay, whenever you are doing excitation or de-excitation, it will be absorbing a photon on excitation. Whenever it is coming back, it will be emitting a photon. Okay, and it will be jumping from one orbit to another orbit. एक साथ it will be absorbing some specific amount of energy. If there is orbit available, it will be jumping to this and it will be jumping back to this. Okay, ठीक है. In the Bohr's theory, Bohr ने ये कहा that only those orbits are possible where the angular momentum is integral multiple of h upon 2 pi और mvr is equals to nh upon 2 pi. इसके लिए कुछ justification नहीं दिया. अभी हमें पता है the justification is based on de Broglie's hypothesis. The electron is revolving around the nucleus not in the form of a particle, but it is moving in the form of a wave. Okay. If it is moving in the form of a wave, wave can have two types of interference, a constructive interference and a destructive interference. Constructive interference will lead to increase in the amplitude of the wave, or it उसके वजह से the wave can exist, the wave won't be destroyed. But if you are having a destructive interference, the wave will be destroyed. Okay, there can be different types of destructive interference. Okay, this is combination of both constructive and destructive. इस केस में क्या होगा, बाद में eventually the overall wave will be destroyed. Okay, so in order to have constructive interference, हमने ये बात किया, always whenever the electron is revolving around the nucleus, it must form complete waves. मतलब यहाँ से एक वेव हुआ, इसमें एक वेव कंप्लीट हुआ. इफ यू आर नॉट कंप्लीटिंग द वेव, ये जो पर्टिकुलर ऑर्बिट खत्म होने के बाद बचा हुआ वेव उधर से स्टार्ट होगा ना, यहाँ पे ऑर्बिट खत्म हो गया मान लेते हैं, द नेक्स्ट वेव, बचा हुआ वेव, इट विल बी फॉर्मिंग हियर. अगर रोटेट किया तो ये यहाँ पे आएगा एंड यहाँ पे कंस्ट्रक्टिव इंटरफेरेंस नहीं होगा, डिस्ट्रक्टिव होगा. दिस इज हैविंग पॉजिटिव एम्पलीट्यूड एंड दिस पर्टिकुलर पार्ट इज हैविंग नेगेटिव एम्पलीट्यूड. ओके, now the electron, this entire thing is nothing but electron. The entire wave is nothing but the electron. It is no longer a particle. Okay, so this will be having a destructive interference. So destructive interference will lead to destruction of the electron. Hence it will not opt to those orbits where it is unable to form complete waves. So only those orbits are possible where you can have one wave, or you can have two waves, or you can have three waves, so on and so forth. You cannot have an orbit where you are having 1.5 wave. If you are having 1.5 wave, the angular momentum also will be some, not an integral multiple, it will be between h upon 2 pi and 2h upon 2 pi. Those cannot exist, इसलिए everything is interrelated. Okay, so de Broglie ने प्रूव किया ये. अभी इसके बाद हम ये और एक प्रिंसिपल पढ़ेंगे which is called as Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Whenever you have something in the form of a wave, yeah, tell me.
Sir, destructive interference के amplitude same होगा.
आपका आवाज कट हो रहा है हर्षदा, आपका आवाज कट हो रहा है.
Sir, hello.
Yeah, tell me.
For destructive interference, amplitude should be not different.
Can you put the question in the chat? आपका आवाज कट हो रहा है. Okay, I hope this particular section is clear to everyone.
Yes, sir.
एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से आप लोग को इतना ही जानना है, radius of any Bohr's orbit is proportional to n square upon z. Velocity is proportional to z upon n. Energy is proportional to z square upon n square. From that you can derive what is the proportionality for frequency and time period. You need to know the relations between kinetic energy, total energy and potential energy. Kinetic energy is minus total energy, 2 times total energy is potential energy. Okay, इनके अलावा you need to know what is meant by hydrogen spectrum. In the hydrogen spectrum you need to know different series of lines. You need to know in which particular region that particular series of lines will fall for in case of hydrogen. You need to know what is meant by a series limit. You need to know what is meant by first line. You need to know which transition will give you highest amount of energy, which transition will give you highest amount of frequency, which transition will give you highest wavelength, lowest wavelength, so on and so forth. Energy is directly proportional to frequency and inversely proportional to wavelength. In a given series, as you go from left to right, matlab 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1, so on and so forth, the energy will be increasing. Okay, the series limit will be having the highest energy, the first line will be having the least energy. The series limit will be having the highest frequency, the first line will be having the lowest frequency. Series limit will be having the lowest wavelength, the first line will be having the highest wavelength. इनके अलावा और एक लॉजिक है, लाइमन सीरीज में कोई भी लाइन आप लो, बामर सीरीज का कोई भी लाइन से कंपेयर करो, always Lyman series will be having highest energy because it belongs to UV region. Balmer series का कोई भी line लो, compare it with any of the lines of Paschen, Brackett, Fund. Balmer series line will be having highest energy, highest frequency or lowest wavelength when compared to any of other lines of Paschen, Brackett and Fund, because Balmer series belongs to visible region. Okay, and whenever there is a transition between two orbits, the photon that is going to be released will be having energy En2 minus En1. If they're asking for the frequency, equate that to h nu. If they're asking for the wavelength, equate that to hc upon lambda. If they are asking for the wave number, it is 1 upon lambda is equals to rz square into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square, where r is Rydberg-Balmer constant. Rh is constant in terms of energy, which is 13.6 electron volts. Okay, R is constant in terms of wave number, which is 1.097 into 10 power 7 meter inverse. Okay, similarly, you can also have a constant in terms of frequency. वो हमने define नहीं किया, but एक question में देखा था हमने. Okay, and you need to know what is meant by ionization energy. You may or may not know all of the drawbacks of Bohr's theory, but you need to remember, or just splitting of the spectral lines in electric field, it is called as Stark effect. In magnetic field, it is called as Zeeman effect. What is meant by that splitting, we will be understanding that later. इसके अलावा you need to know de Broglie's hypothesis. Based on de Broglie's hypothesis, our visualization of an electron or our perception of an electron got completely changed. An electron is no longer a particle now. In microscopic world, the wavelength, the de Broglie's wavelength is significant. So you need to consider the electron as a wave. It is not a particle. Based on this, we will in future see a principle called Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Okay, if you are having a particle, you can clearly say or clearly mention the position of that particular particle. Okay, वो वहाँ पे है. But if you are having a wave, you can never definitely say the position of the particle or the position of the electron, because it is in the form of a wave. यहाँ पे peak positions है ना, कहीं पे भी रह सकता है वो.
Sir,
we will understand that we will understand in detail about Heisenberg's uncertainty principle later after holidays.
Sir.
Yeah, tell me.
सर मतलब हम वो हाइजेनबर्ग प्रिंसिपल है, मतलब वो अगर हमने उसका फिक्स टाइम बता दिया तो हम प्लेस नहीं बता सकते, और अगर फिक्स प्लेस बता दिया तो उसका टाइम नहीं, मतलब स्पीड नहीं बता सकते. ऐसा ही है ना?
वैसा ही है, डिस्कस करेंगे, इन डिटेल डिस्कस करेंगे, डोंट वरी.
Okay.
For destructive interference, the amplitude, for complete destructive interference, the amplitude must be same. Okay, destructive interference होने के लिए बाद में आप फिजिक्स में पढ़ेंगे something called phase. Okay, these two waves, we say these two waves are completely in phase. मतलब जहाँ पे ये start हो रहा है, जहाँ वहीं पे ये भी start हो रहा है. These two waves are completely out of phase. Okay, completely out of phase. जहाँ पे ये positive है, in all the positions वहाँ पे ये negative है. Okay, these two phases are also out of phase, but not completely out of phase. Some parts पे they are having opposite amplitudes, opposite signs of the amplitudes. In some parts they are having the same signs of the amplitudes. This is called as out of phase. You will read this in detail in physics. Waves करके एक chapter है, वो mathematical relations भी होगा. आप लोग को wave का representation in the form in some mathematical expression डिटेल में पढ़ेंगे आप लोग, डोंट वरी. समझ में आया ये? MVR is equals to NH upon 2 pi. Are all the concepts
Yes,
clear?
sir.
अब तक जो भी कवर किया इलेक्ट्रॉन के बारे में समझने के लिए, जो भी थीरीज, डिफरेंट थीरीज पढ़ा स्टार्टिंग से, सब क्लियर है ना? After Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, we will be finally looking the current model of the atom, which is quantum mechanical model. I hope this is clear to everyone. In the next lecture, we will be solving only questions. Please solve the worksheet. I will be picking some questions from the worksheet and we will discuss them for Thursday's exam. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.